Sweet time. Let's go.
What up? What up? What's the deal, everybody? Family, friends, people of the world of all races, creeds, nationalities, and gender fluency. You are now listening to me. I am so lying. Welcome to the Ish That We Talk. I am Lily, the host of this show. I am with who I'm always with, the person who pushes all the bells and whistles. Without her, we would not have this show. Why do I say it all the time? Because it is absolutely true. Let's give a round of applause for Lindsay.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
And again, this is the Ish That We Talk. Check this out, people. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, for my Twitch people, we're on Twitch now. Hope
Yes,
y'all
we are.
tune in. Hope y'all love what we do. Do what y'all got to do to keep us moving. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the ish that we talk. But back to business. How is all you ugly motherfuckers doing?
Well, I don't know how the ugly motherfuckers are doing, but I'm well. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm slowly but surely getting things done at the house. I just got new doors, as you can see. I'm going to put
Mhm.
them on sometime this weekend or probably Monday. Um, I finally got the towel done in the bath. I mean, not in the bathroom, but in the kitchen. Finally got that completed. I'm getting knobs and door handles and all sorts of bells and whistles that I need. It is slowly but surely getting finished.
Cool, cool. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Always like progress.
Yes, 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 yes. But that's all about me. Lindsay, how's your health? How's your wealth? What has been going on lately?
I'm well. Yeah, not too much going on over here. um, do have a funny thing to say. So I um I took my nephew and his friends to Worlds of Fun this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, when we got in the car, I was just like, what do y'all know about Tupac? They only really heard of him. They didn't know too much or nothing. Um, so I gave them a little crash course on Tupac and his mama. And then I was playing his music. So of course I had to play Hit 'em Up because it's like the best song ever, right?
Right.
So you know how he snaps at the end, right?
Yeah.
Just snaps. And my nephew was like, he sounds serious. I was like, yeah, he's dead ass. He's dead ass. So I cracked up when he said that. Because he
Uh,
said it with a straight face and everything. He was like, he sounds serious.
see that the youth, the youth would never understand the type of energy that was around when Tupac Shakur was alive.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't even know he was dead.
What?
Yeah. They heard TJ heard Hail Mary, and then there was another song I played that he said he heard, but like that was it. And I was just, and when Hail Mary played and he said he knew that, I was like, that now that makes sense because of who your mom is.
Yeah. Yeah, it
You
do.
know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm like, she stays in '90s rap, so yeah. I was like, that would make sense for you to know that one. But but yeah, they didn't know too much or nothing. And then I played I Ain't Mad at You, and I told them the story about how we thought that was eerie as hell, the
Yeah.
video. And so he was like, "Well, pull up the video." So I pulled up the video, and he was like, "Yeah, I get it. I get why y'all thought that." So, but yeah, but they didn't know nothing. Like I had to tell them about the whole story between him and Biggie, the East Coast West Coast. They never heard about the East Coast West Coast rivalry,
See,
and yeah, it's wild. It's wild to see it in the eyes of these teenagers now that just don't know too much or nothing about something that was huge in our life. And I had to tell them, I
yeah.
was like, all this stuff happened in my eighth grade year. Like these
Right.
died, like this whole rivalry was going on. All of this happened eighth grade. So yeah, and they about to be sophomores.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I remember um going into the ninth grade still talking about Tupac dying and then Biggie dying. And we seen it all on MTV and we was like, holy fucking shit.
yeah, yeah. I told them all that, and I was just like, he died first, and then Biggie died, and all that was eighth grade for me. And still to this day, literally today, my mama still says he ain't dead.
You know what? I love your mama. Shout out to Auntie for still, keeping that alive because I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
It was and that was rampant for a long time. And I remember at one point in my life, Eminem said that a couple of the coldest bars I ever heard in life when he said hip hop ain't been the same since Tupac went to Cuba on us. And I was like, God damn. I said, how yeah, the audacity of this white boy to be so fucking accurate. It doesn't make any sense.
that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Glenn says Tupac is in Cuba.
See?
But people are still keeping that alive. I didn't realize that was Eminem's favorite rapper until I
Yeah.
watched the documentary with him, the Tupac documentary about him and his mama. Did you watch that?
I ain't watched that one yet.
Oh, you gotta watch it so we can talk about it. It's really good. It's a 5-part docu-series that FX put out, but it's on Hulu now.
Okay.
So yeah. Um and they did it really good. Cause I was kind of hesitant because I was thinking of course they was gonna lean more on Tupac, but they did Afeni really well.
I mean, yeah,
So
she should be represented
yeah,
like really, really, really in high standards. Like
yeah,
rest in peace, Miss Afeni Shakur. She was an amazing woman. Through all of the trials and tribulations she went through, she was still an
right,
amazing woman.
right. Because I even told the boys a little bit about her and about the case that she won, and I was like, and she wasn't a lawyer, and they was like, really? I was like,
Now
yeah,
she represented her motherfucking self. I remember that young.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I was telling. I was like, she represented herself and the others and got everybody off, and yeah. I was like, she's dope. And then this is the crazy part about this. This is why we need critical race theory in the school systems because they didn't even know anything about the Black Panthers. They thinking I'm talking about Marvel. I was
What?
like, yeah, no. So I had to give a brief 1-2 sentence synopsis on the Black Panthers.
Ooh, that's crazy.
All
Speaking of,
this in a 20-minute car ride to Worlds of Fun. So yeah.
which is so well, especially in this city. If a lot of people don't know, one of the most phenomenal Panthers came up out of this city and is still alive today. Shout out to Pete O'Neill. Um, Pete O'Neill was facing jail time because of being a Black Panther and gun charges. He fled to Tanzania where he built a school, a compound, and a well. And everybody that is of any type of prominence and represents any type of change and as far as the Black community to this day still goes out to Pete's compound. So shout out to Pete O'Neill for being a Kansas City great and a phenomenal underrated Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have mentioned him before on the
Yeah, because
live.
I love the shit out of Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah. And I was just like, wow, you know, but you know, if it's not in the kids' faces or whatever, they're not gonna know nothing about it. I remember being a sophomore in high school finding out about Emmett Till.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I went my whole life not knowing anything about him until 10th grade. So,
That's how they slowly but surely try to erase us.
hmm yeah, absolutely. And yeah, just knowing that or whatever, I was just like, yeah, we kind of need to do Black History. Yeah, we kind of need to do Black History on our own because they're depending on the school system, it's not going to happen.
No.
You know, yeah.
Excuse me.
But yeah,
That
yeah.
was
So that was
that.
my
That didn't have nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today, people. That
no,
was just
not
an
at all.
us moment.
We just gonna start out left.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to that fucking turn we did real quick, y'all. We
Right,
pulled
right,
up at the gas station. We filled back up. We back out. We back out.
right, right. But yeah, so yeah, so back to this to the topics that were scheduled for
Right.
this episode.
Right.
The first one is motherfucking John Morant. Um, Lord. Okay. So John Morant is a professional basketball player that about a little over a month ago, I think. I don't even think it's been 2 months. Maybe it has. I don't know. But he got in trouble with the NBA for having a gun um on social media. I think he was like in a strip club and they took pictures of him.
Yep.
And yeah. So he got suspended for a few games or whatever. And he did an interview saying that he learned his lesson and excuse me, he's gonna do better in life and this, that, and the third, everything you want to hear. Um, because it was completely a lie. He ended up doing it again. This time he was in the car with a friend and the friend was on live. It wasn't like it was him, it wasn't like it was a sneak recording. It was a recording that he very much was aware of because he was in the camera showing off the gun again. And
I will
yeah,
say this. Um, his because everybody is throwing shots at his friend talking about why these niggas always want to film this nigga. First of all, if my
the
fucking
friend tried
friend
to
is
save
that
him.
fucking famous, I'm always filming. The thing is, nigga, you gotta be smart. You gotta be
Yeah,
smart. If you pay attention to the video, as soon as this man seen the gun, he threw his fucking
yeah,
phone down.
right. That's what I was about to say. The friend tried to save him. So I
Yeah,
don't blame the friend. That's the reason why I said it the way I said it because it wasn't like a sneak recording. He was very much aware that this man was on live. They were singing a song on live, and he threw the gun up like he didn't know that he would get in the same trouble again. Like, what kind of shit are you doing, sir? Like, or what are you know? Back in the day when people turned into like gangsters and thugs and whatever label society wanted to put on these people, it was because they were a product of their environment. It was a
right.
circumstance. It wasn't something that they strived to do. It wasn't like, what do you want to be, Timmy, when you grow up? I want to be a gangster. No, it was nothing like that. Nowadays that's what people are striving to do, and it's just crazy how the tables have turned. Um, because he doesn't have to be a gangster, he doesn't have to be a thug, he doesn't have to be nothing but a professional basketball player, you know. Yeah, he does. I mean, he can he can do something positive with his life. I mean, and he didn't grow up in a situation where he will be a product of the streets or anything like that. Like
Nope.
he was Clarence. He was Clarence from 8 Mile, and Clarence parents have a real good marriage. Like,
Yes. Yeah,
like
like
he's
real
real.
facts though. This is real,
Right,
nigga. That's keeping it a bean.
right. Okay, sidebar. So my nephew's friend name is Clarence. And I kind of had to stop saying Clarence parents have a real good marriage every time I see him. But I be itching to say it every time.
Man,
But
listen.
yeah.
Please stop saying that, especially if Clarence know his whole fucking life is fucked up. You putting a chip on this man's shoulder and you ain't got to.
They didn't know what the hell I was talking about. We had to pull it up for them. But yeah. But yeah. But anyway, back to John Morant. Um, yeah. So I mean that's basically who he is. He's fucking Papa Doc. Like, stop. Just stop. Like, you don't have to do this. Just stop. Like, so right now he's suspended indefinitely.
And
And
he should be.
yeah, indefinitely just means like whenever we feel like bringing you back is when you're coming
Oh, he
back.
ain't coming back. Y'all might as well. He's our version of Gilbert Arenas and our your sister, my brother, their version of motherfucking Spreewell. You did this shit to yourself, my nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Hopefully you can bounce back like them two niggas did and try to make money outside of basketball. But we see what that led Spreewell. Gilbert's still doing good, but shit.
Yeah. Gilbert has leaned into being the bad guy and has profited from that. So, especially when your baby mama is diabolical, you actually could turn out to be the better. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Even still being on your fuck shit, you can still be the better person.
yeah.
You know. But yeah, I haven't heard of Spreewell since, he choked his coach out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Spreewell
Um
was the shit after with the wheels. He even had a
mhm,
shoe deal with Dada.
yeah.
It was a bunch of
Yeah.
shit going for him. He had real estate and he couldn't get off of that fuck shit. Um because it was back in the day and there wasn't any social media. So, that shit still kept coming in. Even after he started making money outside of that type of attitude that he displayed carried on and it destroyed his business career, basically.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like this is what we're watching unfold. We're watching the same thing for this generation. John Morant was just like Agent Zero and Gilbert Arenas. John Morant is one of the elite of this generation's basketball players. And only thing about Gilbert is Gilbert didn't leave the streets alone, and he, what I'm saying, because he was from there. Morant, you didn't even have to do that. It was nowhere in the world. You waited till you got 200+ million before you start showing your ass. Now I understand niggas is gonna be niggas, but it's a bunch of smart niggas out here. You just a dumb nigga, and I ain't saying dumb like that because you could be very intelligent. But with all those book smarts, you just fucking plumb dumb, my nigga. Because why in the fuck do you catch yourself in these situations? It's not a
These are the
situation.
dumbest. These are
eh,
the dumbest. Like the
Like that
dumbest.
first time you did it, okay, cool. You go back, you apologize for it, bam. How did you turn around and think you was gonna flash another gun and another fucking video? Like
Yeah.
what the you not from that kind, man. And I don't want to talk about nobody because again, this young man is a phenomenal basketball player. His basketball IQ can't do nothing but grow, and he could possibly be one of the greats. But because of his actions, we probably won't never ever see that. And that's the thing. It's like you just fucking plumb dumb, my nigga. And a lot of times plumb dumb niggas need to get knocked back on their ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro. And it's one of them things where I think about it like I was telling my niggas the other day, because everybody was talking about how he fucked his career up. I'm like, nah, you got to understand the predicament he as a black man, as far as his situation, not only as a black man, but not a black man who grew up in poverty. He had people looking out for him to go a different way that he let down. And then on top of that, it's a bunch of people he was supposed to take care of, especially them niggas that was in the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you motherfuckers don't understand. When you put in that high esteem of being an elite athlete, that comes with baggage. But that baggage don't mean you got to act like you a gangster. And that's the thing that he's gonna have to learn. Nowadays, teams don't have certain things that I know they used to have like way back in the day, where when they knew they was getting these young, wild ass, you know what I'm saying, niggas like Dennis Rodman going everywhere. They had a special PR team that was just on them niggas, watching them niggas, monitoring them niggas. If you wanted to do shit, call us first, so we'll make sure this shit don't get out in public.
Right.
I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that like, you know, that's a good thing, because some of them niggas was doing some wrong shit, but at least these niggas was looking out for these young cats.
Yeah.
They ain't got that no more. Now this nigga, the Grizzlies done threw him to the Wolves. That indefinitely means you are never gonna touch a basketball again. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Now, I don't think that he'll never touch a basketball again. I feel like somebody will take a risk on him because he's so much of an elite athlete. But he's gonna have to take a pay cut. He will definitely have to take a pay cut. You know,
I can guarantee you it's gonna be so much noise about this by the time the next season starts that the NBA is gonna suspend him indefinitely.
And that's possible, but he might have to go to another league overseas, perhaps.
He can go play with the White.
Yeah, yeah. But I do think that he still will have a career, but it just won't be the career that he once had.
It ain't gonna be 280 million taking care of my niggas.
Right. No, it won't be that. Glenn says that boy is on his way to Europe to play soon. Yeah.
Hell,
He gonna feel it. He definitely gonna feel it. And that's on him. He did the shit himself. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, going back to 8 Mile, remember when Papa Doc pulled out that gun during that fight and somebody had to grab him and be like, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's legit Papa Doc. He's legit Papa Doc. But who got hired on the Grizzlies was Clarence. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. I'm forever gonna say that, and that's forever gonna be funny. But yeah, it sucks. But I mean, he did it to himself.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And to all you extra woke niggas.
Yeah. Glenn said he's Cheddar Bob. Yeah, he's definitely Cheddar Bob.
If he shoot himself, I'm gonna give him that title.
Yeah. Yeah, but for right now, he's probably.
But again, to you woke motherfuckers, man. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter try to post up a white NBA player for posing with his guns, and he never got suspended. Two things. One, that white man posted either at a shop where he got the guns or at his own home. For two, if you're at a shop, that gun can't be loaded, especially while you're taking pictures. They don't even allow that. For three, let's talk about Ja. Ja had a gun in the club. For 4, Ja had a gun on the passenger side of his best friend's ride trying to holler at me. What in the fuck do you think was gonna happen? All my woke niggas that always try to say it's a black thing. 90% of this of America, when it comes to us as people, yeah, it's a black thing, but it's that 10% their job puts itself in as a nigga that just don't listen.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
and I
just,
mean, and just being 1,000% real, we already know the playing field is not the same. You know what I'm saying? So why even put yourself in a predicament? And I mean, you showing it off like that shit is cute, and you being real reckless with the gun. You know what I mean? Like you showing that gun off in the car, that mother could have went off and shot your friend in the head, and then what? You know what I mean? Because you stunned. And somebody tried, I forgot who I was talking to, but somebody tried to say something about well, the gun was like registered or something like that. And I was like, and the gun could 1,000% be legal. However, it's the same thing with marijuana and your job. If your
exactly.
job if your job says that you can't smoke marijuana, even though it's legal, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally the same thing. So I don't know. I mean, I want to say I hope he learns from this, but shit, we hoped he learned from the last one.
Exactly. At this point, Ja, whatever happens to you, you gotta understand that it's your fault. You gotta
Right,
take
you brought it
accountability
yourself.
and don't blame it on mental issues. I'm so sick of you niggas saying y'all got mental issues, and the truth of the matter is you just don't fucking listen. You hard-headed as fuck. And hard-headed niggas sometimes gotta get slapped on that ass.
Well, it's hard. Is being hard headed a mental illness?
No, it's just being hard-headed. Because you
I
know
think we need
exactly
to
what you're supposed to do, but you chose to do something different.
right. So
All
it
in
could
your mind
be
when you was
right.
singing that NBA Youngboy song and you was in that motherfucker and you was kicking it, you was throwing up signs, all that shit in your head. You knew I got a gun. I just got in trouble for flashing a gun. Don't flash a gun. Don't flash a gun. You know what, nigga? Blah. Hey, you did that shit to yourself.
Yeah. But one can argue that being hard headed is a mental illness. And then
Okay.
this is the killer part about this. You rapping the NBA young boy like that motherfucker can walk across the street right now. He can't walk across the street. He on fucking house arrest. So like he's not the best role model or person to be reciting lyrics from right now anyway.
Not only is
If
he in
we just
house
gonna
arrest,
look
he's
at
on house arrest.
yeah.
He's on house arrest in fucking Utah. He can't even talk to his niggas unless he got enough money to fly them to him.
He's in Utah.
He's
I didn't
in
know.
Utah.
How the fuck do you how the fuck you get on house arrest in Utah?
Well, because he's got people behind him. So they paid for him to be on house arrest, and then they also had to capitalize on we still got to make money off this nigga. So we got to get him away from fucking Baton Rouge.
Mm.
So
Okay.
we put him way in Utah where he could still be out, still make music, and we still leave off this nigga, but this nigga don't make them dumbass, stupid ass mistakes. He keep doing hanging around them dumbass, stupid ass niggas that he fuck with.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part about that. Like they gotta put you in white man's land for you to not make stupid ass decisions.
This nigga, he
That
going
is
stir
I
crazy
didn't
out
know he
there.
was
You see
in
how
Utah.
he nigga painting his nails. Um, that one stint where he went golf with the makeup, like this is how I feel. This nigga going crazy out in that bitch.
I would too. Shit. If I can't walk across the street, I'd be pissed too. And I don't think I've ever walked across the street at where I'm at right now, but just the point.
That you can
If
do
I
it.
want to walk across the street, I could, you know. and I would be pissed if I couldn't. So,
Like
but
you and you,
yeah.
nigga, the Utah Jazz niggas ain't even tripping off NBA young boy like that.
Yeah, that's it's yeah. Like I said, he ain't the best one to be reciting lyrics from anyway. But yeah.
You let Memphis down, man.
Anywho, yeah, yeah. Anywho, enough about that clown.
Yeah, and I love you,
So
guy, man. Get back, get your shit together.
right, right, but yeah. So also we also want to send our condolences to the family of Mr. Jim Brown. So he passed away a couple of days ago. Um, Anybody that doesn't know who Jim Brown is, Jim Brown is a legendary football player, an actor, and an activist. Um, he his name is like his name is like synonymous with the Cleveland Browns. Like that's the first
Yeah,
person you think of with the Cleveland Browns.
yeah.
I don't even like football, and I know that. You know, like that's the first thing I think of with the. I think of him, and I think of Overton from Living Single because he was a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. So
Wow, that's a fun fact that I
yeah.
didn't think a lot of people remembered off of that shit. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
he was
Oh
a
yeah.
definitely fuck. He was a Cleveland Brown fan.
Right, because him and Kyle was from Cleveland. So yeah. But yeah. So yeah, his name is like synonymous with the Cleveland Browns. It was actually the Cleveland Browns that announced his passing. Um and then as far as like movies are concerned, he was in a lot of black exploitation movies. He was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and he was in Original Gangsters. Those are two movies that I definitely remember him in.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was an activist. He was very influential in the civil rights movement. So, and then the movie One Night in Miami that came out a couple years ago that
Mm-hmm.
talked about this night that supposedly happened in Miami between uh, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, um, Sam Cooke.
I was waiting because if you missed Sam Cook, I was gonna be mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot the last person though. Who's the
Shit.
la- Yeah, who's the last person?
Let me look it up.
But it's like this night was like a big myth on what exactly happened that night or whatever. And so they made a movie out of it a few years ago, and it got nominated for a lot of awards. Even got Regina King. She got nominated for director for best director, and I believe this was her first time directing. But Idris Hodge, a lot of people know him from Underground. He played Jim Brown in the movie. Excuse me.
And what was it called?
One Night in Miami.
In Miami.
But yeah, it was Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X.
I was about to say, I just
Malcolm
looked.
X.
It was
Yeah,
Malcolm X, and
yeah,
that yeah, because now it got my head turning. This is when supposedly Muhammad was. I mean, well, at the time, Cassius Clay was telling
yeah.
them that he was joining the Nation of Islam. Yes.
Yeah, because he was still Cassius.
Yep.
So, but yeah, like he had just had a fight like that night. That night was after he had his fight. Like he had that fight that night. So yeah. Um, but yeah. So just want to say rest in peace to him and our condolences to his family and loved
Man.
ones. Do you have any words?
Uh, yeah. And disclaimer before I say this because I'm not disrespecting this man at all. But Jim Brown, amazing athlete. Um, he started off kind of rocky, but a lot of people didn't know that. um, when he got famous, and he became an activist, and then it came out that he used to beat up on his wife. Um,
Mm, yeah.
Jim Brown in certain interviews he don't like to speak on it. Some interviews he do. From certain things that I do remember about him when he did speak about it. Um, he talked about how you know he was almost brainwashed into not loving his own kind, and that's what he blames it on. And I can't be mad at him, and I'm not gonna say he's lying, and I'm not gonna speak on any disrespect because that now he's an icon and he passed. What I will say is, if you grew up where Jim Brown grew up, where the coach that he loved so much wouldn't even let him go into his house, I believe it. I believe him, and
Yeah.
I think it was he put himself around some good people, and famous, where most people don't do that. When he became a famous athlete, he put himself around certain people that made him change the way he thought, and that led to an amazing activist. And we should respect that man for that because, like I said last week, you know, it take a special kind of person in the world that give up checks for us. When
Yeah.
you can, I don't give a fuck what they past used to be. When you start losing money for your people, I'ma always respect you, cause they
Yeah.
always want to put you back on those strings where they can puppeteer your ass. And when you
Hmm.
decide not to do that, oh man, you a man amongst gods.
Yeah.
And so you gotta respect Jim Brown for that. You gotta respect Jim
Yeah.
Brown for the acting. You got to respect Jim Brown for being the man that he is. It was a couple of niggas that he mentored like a motherfucker.
Hmm. Yeah.
Jim Brown was a man amongst men, and the reason why he was a man amongst men is because he went through his problems, and he came out not only better but changed. And I pray for your family, man, and rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you bring up the whole checks thing because Harry Belafonte just died last month, and um he basically did the same thing. You know, he was an
Right,
activist as well, but he gave up checks for the cause. He went years without acting for the cause.
right.
So yeah. But yeah, it's funny that, and it is also funny that you bring up the whole coach that wouldn't let him in his house thing because that's a scene in One Night in Miami. And that
Yeah,
scene always stuck out to me because it was just crazy how back then that's just what it was. Like the coach loved him, he loved the coach, but the coach was like there was the way the scene played out was that he went back to his hometown, which is an island in Georgia. I forgot the name of it. But he went back to his hometown. He went to the coach's house. The maid, I guess that was the maid or the wife or whoever it was, got the coach. The coach came outside and they both sat on the porch talking. Now, to the naked eye, we not really thinking too much of it. They're talking, having a good talk or whatnot. Then whoever the lady was, she come out and she said that she needed some piece of furniture moved. So he was about to go, the coach was about to go inside to do it. And Jim Brown said, "Do you want me to help?" And the coach was like, "Now you know we don't let niggas in the house."
yeah.
And then he walked in and Jim Brown was just standing there kind of dumbfounded. And that always stuck out to me because it was just like, damn, like they just said it back then and it was okay. Like nowadays they'll get your head knocked off, but back then it just was the thing to say. And what can you do? You know what I mean? It was just crazy back then.
Nothing. And
Yeah.
again, like I said, when he said he was when he was young, he was brainwashed to not, you know what I'm saying, not love himself. I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
They made him they just made him a machine. All he
Mhm.
was a machine.
Right. Right. And then like one of our last sightings of him was when he went with Kanye to the White House to see Trump. And a lot of people tried to come down on him for that meeting.
I never did. Right now, certain niggas I know what I'm saying I didn't agree with.
Uh-huh.
Uh Certain niggas I didn't agree with because they had no business being there. You know, you for them, you know, it was strictly a money thing. Uh
Mhm.
or what they can, you know what I'm saying, what they can get accomplished. But for Jim Brown, people like Jim Brown and Ice Cube, I understood the reasons of their meetings because they don't give a fuck who's president. What can you do for
Yeah.
my people?
Right. You got to, at the end of the day, you got to go to who's in charge. Trump at the time was in charge. So that's who you got
Exactly.
to talk to. You know what I mean? And that's why I was so lost with people that didn't understand that. Like if we want, like, we gonna wait to see who is in charge next term before, and then like if it ain't the person that you ideally want to talk to, you gonna wait another 4 years while people are dying.
Right.
No, we got to talk to whoever's in charge now. See
See,
what we can do.
that's the depiction of true events that I want to see. I want to see um somebody make up a movie about when Jim Brown, Steve Harvey, motherfucking Kanye and others went to the White House to talk to Trump. Cause I can guarantee you it ain't what you niggas thought it was when it came to Jim Brown.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and you saw, and when you saw the clips of when Kanye and Jim Brown was there, you saw Jim Brown was barely saying anything when Kanye went on that whole "I love you, you're like my dad" rant.
Yeah.
You know, he probably was like, "This wasn't what I signed up for. We didn't discuss this in the pre-meeting meeting." So yeah, but yeah, that was just, I just chopped that up to people who really don't know who the fuck Jim Brown was.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, but yeah, but that's Jim Brown. So rest in peace to him. Um, next up. So all right, let's go to this petty bullshit. Okay, so
Yeah.
there is a debate that is online. Um, and it kicked off on Facebook. It said this guy, and I use that term loosely. Um, he put up a picture of Teyana Taylor next to a picture of Ice Spice, aka Carrot Top. Because I do wholeheartedly believe that that's the same person.
Oh shit.
But he says, so y'all really think Tiana look better than Ice Spice? Come on now. Now I did see this post, because it got shared a whole lot. And a lot of people were wholeheartedly disagreeing with this man. And he was in the comments, going back and forth with him or whatnot. But you wanted to discuss this because you saw it on a deeper level, with the whole colorism debate that's been going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
Uh, where do I begin? Okay. This is why I unsubscribe to a lot of people who have a certain type of woman that they believe is in the excellence of beauty because um, they destroy what actually is the beauty of being a woman wholeheartedly. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Ice Spice. I'm not saying she's not an attractive person. She is to somebody, just like Teyana Taylor is. The thing that bothers me about it is you'll see two attractive women and y'all decide what's ugly. That's ugly. Sitting there having that conversation, that's fucking ugly. Because there's nothing wrong with Ice Spice or Teyana Taylor. So why are we having this fucking debate? Like, this is what I don't understand about any type of male, female, or gender fluid dog for that fucking matter. What's beauty is is what is in the eye of the beholder, like the old school niggas been telling us. Teyana Taylor is amazing to a lot of people, including myself. Ice Spice is amazing to a lot of people. All I'm saying is it doesn't matter who likes who. Nobody should be comparing the two. Beauty is beauty. It is what it is. I don't understand the because Ice Spice is light skinned with a fat ass. That makes her better than Teyana Taylor, who is a mother, a beautiful black woman, and physically fit. Like, where are we getting the who's better, who ain't situation? I don't get it.
I'm lost on why they comparing those two. Like that came out of left field when I saw it.
Cause whoever wrote that shit apparently, and I'm just cracking a joke on this motherfucker, but apparently, the nigga who started this whole thing off, either got rejected by a dark skinned woman or somebody said that his ass looked like Teyana Taylor and he's a man, and so that made him feel ugly. I don't know. I would only come up with these assumptions because it don't even make no sense to compare the two.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they was picking those two to compare. That's where the conversation lost me at.
It's
But I was like,
colorism.
what, let me
It's
go look at
strictly colorism. It's the light skin against dark skin.
hmm And the crazy part about it is that Ice Spice is African. You know, that that blew me. I thought she was mixed, but no, she's mixed with African and African. But yeah, um, I just find that crazy to me. The whole the whole debate specifically with them two, along with just the debate as a whole, and how black men, not all, but how some black men view black women. It's
Yeah,
just like, damn, you really were hurt as a child or adolescent. Like, why must you put all black women in one category when we are multifaceted? And the killer part about all that is that the black men that do that don't look like nothing. Like, I don't give a damn who you date. I could care less. Like, but it's a problem when you big up other races and down your own race. That's where I have the problem at. But if you find somebody and you love them, they love you, the shit is genuine, then by all means, go. I mean, have at it. I don't like.
that,
I don't care.
that's the whole thing. It's just weird. It's like the black man or the black woman that dates the white man, and all of a sudden, all black people fucked up. You know, they make weird tweets about us and all that, and then they look at the
Mhm.
mirror and they gotta like spit at the mirror because they hate themselves.
Yeah.
I This the
Or they
thing.
hate their mama or their sister or auntie, grandma. Like that's what's so crazy. It's just like, were you rejected by that many black women? Like, did your mama like beat you as a child? Like, I don't understand why you hate black women so much and you were birthed from a black woman. A black woman raised you
Right.
and you hate black women. Like, did you get beat up by a black girl when you were a kid? Like, and that's usually what it comes from is some type of childhood trauma. Like maybe you liked the black girl and too many black girls rejected you and you just said fuck them, you know. But now you put all of us in a box because you were rejected by a couple. And I'm sure you weren't just rejected by black women. You probably had one or two white women when you said fuck black women. You probably had one or two white women you tried to holler at where they was like, no, thank you. But
Yeah.
you put them on such a high pedestal and you put the middle finger up to black women. That's the only problem that I really have with the interracial dating. Like I just said, I don't care who you date, but don't down black women to big up Latinas, to big up white women, to big up whoever. You don't have to do that. Like if that's your preference, that's your preference. But you don't have to down one race to big up another race
Right.
or to justify why you only date outside your race. That's the issue that I have. Like you don't have to do that. It's not
No.
needed.
You can just that could just be your thing. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But we're not gonna put up these categories of who look better than who and all this whole extra shit because that's your preference.
Yeah.
That's what you like. It should have never been a debate where I'm on Twitter and I'm watching like this weird ass shit. Like all of a sudden, motherfuckers is coming out with Ice Spice Mama talking about because Ice Spice Mama fine and all that, and ain't nobody pulling up pictures of Tiana's mama. I'm looking at this shit like,
Yeah.
what in the fuck is going on with y'all? Like
Right. And why are
you
y'all
niggas
really
like if
debating this?
y'all like light skinned bitches, just say y'all like light skinned bitches and just say that. Just leave it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, but why is it even a debate who you like? Like you gonna like who you like. Like it shouldn't even be a debate on who you like and who you like because can't nobody tell you who to like and who not to like. But you like I said, you don't have to down somebody else because that's not your preference. Or to justify why that's not your preference.
Right.
You don't have to down them. You
And that's
know.
what you know what?
It's just whack.
Even you know what I'm saying, I ain't even gonna it's not a left that I'm taking. I know what I'm saying on this one. I guess I'm taking the stairs and I'm going up another level with this.
Mm.
This is just for people in general. Like whatever a person's preference is, what they like is what they like. As long as it's in the confines of their home and it is legal, you know, and it's legal for you to like this. If you like big women, you like big women. If you like skinny women, you like skinny women. If you like women that know what I'm saying, uh if you got like women with freckles, like women with freckles, like it should not be one of those situations where we're deciding what beauty is. Again, I keep saying to y'all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like when you run up on your dude and you see your dude's girl might not be attracted to you. You know what you don't do? Go home and tell motherfuckers about it. Like, man, he with that ugly bitch. Nah, that's his girl. Like, I ain't never been in a situation where I ain't been attracted because I'm not attracted to none of my dudes girls just because they my dudes girls. So I don't even know what I'm
Mhm.
saying be that kind with them. So I ain't never gonna go home and talk about, hey man, he got this fat bitch, we got this ugly little skinny bitch. I'm not doing none of that. But this is the shit that you niggas is doing because what your preference is ain't what another nigga's preference is. And
Yeah.
that's dumb to me. It's like, hey man, let people do their thing. Just like if their preference was a fucking light skinned dude. I'm not gonna say nothing about that either. That's your business, my nigga. Like, I don't get we doing this and then we're building up these scenarios again that kills me, especially when it comes to us as black folks, because we supposed to unify. But we're steadily segregating ourselves when we're put up these pedestals of what we think beauty is.
Yeah.
Beauty is us being united, my nigga.
Mhm.
Let's start doing that shit. We should never have no type of tweets where this shit, you know what I'm saying, go haywire because we're debating on who's better, the light skin or the dark skin. Like, cause they stats don't even match up. Let's go to the stats. Again, Teyana been out here way longer, for years. What was it, 2011, 2010?
Shit, earlier than that, because remember she did My Super Sweet 16.
She sure did.
Yep,
She
and she was
sure did.
already
You
signed
sure
to
right.
Star Trek back then.
This is a longevity of somebody being famous. On top of that, being famous, getting a bag, getting a secure bag, getting a husband that also makes a secure bag.
Mhm.
On top of being a mother, on top of being somewhat of an activist when it comes to certain things, she will speak up about. And then you got Ice Spice that just came in the game. Um, got two songs that are major hits, and that's it.
Yeah. Now the music is subjective, as well. But I mean, but you got to give it to her for the fact that she owns her publishing, and she signed to Nicki Minaj now, and that Dirty Diana song is pretty cool. I ain't even gonna front, but I don't, me personally, because it's my personal preference. I don't really like the tone of her voice, but that's my
Again, that's
personal
your
preference.
preference.
I didn't have to like, you know, down a bunch of people. That's just
Exactly.
personal preference. So yeah. But
I don't get it.
yeah, that whole debate is just like it's stupid. And I feel like the person that started it, he just really don't like Teyana Taylor. And if that ain't what floats your boat, cool. But you ain't gotta do all this. You ain't gotta do all
I
this. This
mean,
was
yeah, I just don't. My thing is the fucking weirdness of the way motherfuckers jumped on that shit. Like they couldn't wait. Like they know what I'm saying. They couldn't wait to have this comparison, which is no comparison. But they jumped on that shit because they didn't jump on it between Ice Spice and Teyana Taylor because again, that shit is fucking light years ahead of each other.
mhm.
They only did it because of the black and white. I mean, not the black and white, but the dark skin and the light skin of it. That's it.
Mhm.
And that's the
Yeah.
problem that I know what I'm saying that fucks me up. It's like we only having this debate right now because she is dark skinned and she is light skinned. They both
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah. 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 And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how, like, if you like Ice Spice, cool. You like Ice Spice, you know, but you don't have to down Tiana Taylor to like Ice Spice,
Right.
you know.
Nigga, even Ice Spice will look at that shit and be like, man, that nigga a munch. That's a
Right,
munch.
because I'm sure she likes Tiana Taylor too. Like, and
Exactly.
that's the killer part about it. Like, how can you look at Tiana Taylor and just be like, ew? Like, I don't understand that one.
And your
But
feeble ass mind. And then another thing that I don't like is everybody to make these comparisons about these people don't live these like these people. You making all these weird ass comments and disrespectful comments about Tiana Taylor, and you don't even minutely register in Tiana Taylor's life.
no, no, y'all not in the same tax bracket. Y'all don't breathe the same air. Like, she could give a damn what you think about her. You know, Like,
That's why you got niggas like me telling you, hey man, that shit's stupid, man. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
ain't
real.
gonna disrespect you or be like, all sorts of weird ass shit. Like, nah, I ain't gonna come to you like that. I have no reason to. But at the same time, I will say, hey man, cut that shit out, man. Whatever you're going through, whatever you don't like about Teyana Taylor, whatever you don't like about dark skinned ladies, um, you know, that's you. And this, you know what I'm saying? Just let it be you. Don't ever kick the fucking what the old nigga say? Don't ever kick the beehive, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't kick the beehive over, because it's gonna be a shit storm for nothing.
Yeah, yeah, and he probably was saying it to go viral, to be honest, because I mean, and it worked. So yeah, but yeah, enough of that. Next up, so College Hill. So, we talked about it, I believe, last week that College Hill is back. Um, the last episode that is up now. They went to an African American museum that is in Alabama. I forgot the name of the museum, but it pretty much talks about um from the slave trade all the way up to present day. And I didn't even like we know about the African American Museum that's in DC. We know about a couple of other museums. Like here we got the Black Archives that mainly just talks about the African Americans in this region,
Yep.
more specifically Missouri and Kansas. But from what we saw, because they didn't really like go too much into it, they didn't allow the cameras to follow the students while they were experiencing it. They showed like bits and pieces of the museum, and then they talked to the students right after they experienced it. And from what we were shown, it was pretty intense, to say the least. And they had art pieces and stuff like that. There was one art piece that looks like it was made out of copper, and it showed a bunch of slaves, but it was just their heads, and it was depicting um, the slaves that were lost at sea. And they said that like about approximately 2 million slaves were lost at sea during the whole transatlantic slave trade. And they said that that's more than um, every war combined. Um, I can't remember if it's every war that America was in or every war period, but yeah. Um, and everybody, really had a very emotional uh response to what they saw in that museum. Um, so then they had to do what's that called? Speeches and they had to pick like a subject and kind of like relate the subject to what they saw at the museum. And so everybody did pretty much a good speech. But then also there was a couple of people that was missing. Um, while we're talking about Teyana Taylor, her husband is on the show, Iman Shumpert. He was missing, and then also Ray J was missing. Now they knew that Iman was going to be missing. Like he told them that prior to them even starting. But Ray J just left. He left in the middle of the night, didn't tell nobody. Now, if anybody has been watching College Hill Celebrity Edition from the first season to the second, this is Ray J's second season. And you're only supposed to be on there one season. So he's already fucking up the second season. So it's looking like he might flunk out again. And all you're doing is you're there 30 days and you get a certificate. So that's like annoying. And then it was also Amber Rose's birthday. And so her birthday was during the week. They turned up in New York, Jocelyn, and then Ray J ended up coming back. So it was New York, Jocelyn, and Ray J. They didn't go to school the next day because they were all hungover. So the dean that's over this program, she ended up coming to the house, and that's where the episode left off. So you said you haven't caught it at all, have you?
No, I haven't caught it at all. I'm now that you have broke it down, like I really want to see it because I want to see if like Jocelyn Hernandez snaps on the goddamn Dean.
Um, she has respect for the dean, so I don't think we're gonna get her snapping on the dean. But the first episode, she did kind of show out. Okay, so the issue was between her and New York because New York said that she was mourning the death of her dog.
Yeah, that I seen that episode. No, that
Yeah.
episode was the first time I was ever in agreements with Jocelyn.
Yes. I was so here for Jocelyn. And I love Jocelyn, but I love New York down. She is definitely the HBIC to this reality shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Most definitely.
the way that she was saying it, you don't expect for her to say dog her. So, and she did not break it down like that when she was talking to them. She broke it down like that when she was talking to the camera. But you thinking that she's saying daughter. So Jocelyn gave her a hug, like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, whatever. But then when she found out she's talking about a dog, she's like, are you serious? I want my hug back. So they had a real all out, fight about that. And I was with Jocelyn because yeah, what we're not gonna do is compare an animal to a human. Like that's not cool. And New York was really like affected by this death. And I don't mean to laugh, but yeah, I don't like animals, so fuck them dogs. So so I guess I do mean to laugh. But but yeah, you could tell she was really affected by it. I mean, and then New York was being New York, but she was talking about she's about to go to like some type of camp after College Hill to like get herself back together because she gained so much weight after this death. And then they filmed this. When did they film this year? I can't remember. They filmed this year or 22, but the dog died in 21. Which I mean, you can't put a time frame on mourning, but still,
Yeah, I
we're
think
talking about a
I,
dog
I
dead.
I think that whole thing was it just played up. New York is fucking reality TV royalty because she knows how to play things up.
Yeah,
I think it's just totally played up. I think she knew exactly the reaction she was gonna get. Uh, I'm just glad that Jocelyn Hernandez is grown up a little bit and didn't decide to get in her face and be like, Beach, I'm taking the hug back, Beach, and I'll fuck
right,
you up, Beach. First of all, Beach, and bow, hit her in the fucking mouth. Like, 'cause we know
yeah,
Jocelyn Hernandez.
right. Something's telling me that they got a pep talk prior to filming, saying that y'all better not put your hands on nobody. You know what I mean? Because Jocelyn, we have seen Jocelyn pop off for less. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's why I'm really like they must have really had a pep talk, even though it's rumored that Jocelyn and Amber Rose have a fight. But I mean, we ain't got there yet. They're cool now. So we
Right.
ain't got there yet. But yeah, so that shit was crazy. Again, I'm with you. I was on Jocelyn's side.
I'm definitely team Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Sidebar of
Mhm.
being team Johnson. I mean team Jocelyn. Uh, about 8 years ago, I was working at a particular spot, and I had to leave for a medical emergency for the kid I was taking care of at the time. Um, when I got back there, asked me about it. They wanted to know what was going on, so I did the whole protocol of telling them what had happened, the reason why I was late. The whole thing, just the rigmarole of having a job.
Mhm.
Um, at the same time, one of my superiors told me that she totally understood um, why I had to take off and all that, and she understands. And she commenced to saying, because, yeah, um, when my dog got sick, I was so upset and I was going back and forth to the vet. I didn't come to work for 3 days. And I looked at her and I was like, how the fuck can you compare a dog to a kid?
Right.
She was like, well, that's my kid. I said, well, that's not mine. So we're not gonna have that conversation. And she was upset about that with me. And she took it to HR and said that I was being aggressive with her. And I just had to basically, tell these people like, no, I'm just never gonna compare um, the kid that I take care of with a dog that she bought.
Right.
Right? So I don't know how that works. I guess she was trying to be empathetic, but I had to quickly tell her we're not gonna have that conversation.
Right. Right. And that's the killer part about it, because like people do try to compare dogs to humans. And in a lot of instances with some people with certain demographics, they treat dogs better than humans.
That's true.
And I'm just over it. Fuck them animals.
Now fuck
There's
them
a
animals. I love Peter. If y'all want to give us a donation, shout out to Peter.
tell Peter my mink is dragging on the floor. But
God damn. Well, you just ruined that sponsorship.
yeah, sorry. But I'm just like dogs. Okay, animals are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Animals are beautiful over there, not here in my face, jumping on me, being disrespectful. Um, I can't handle that. And low key, I mean, there are some dogs that are beautiful. I would love to have a dog, but I don't like animals. I just don't fuck with animals. Like that's my only problem. Like especially like a cane corso, those are
Love them.
beautiful.
I love kangaroos.
Beautiful. Yeah. But I don't like dogs. That's my only problem.
Well, Peter,
That's
I love animals. I happen to have a cat. Um, when my son or daughter makes it to this world, I've already said I'm gonna get a puppy to acclimate to my child, so that will as my child grows and that my dog grows, then my dog will become my child's protector. So I do love animals in that sense because I know um, certain animals, especially dealing with dogs. I know how you can train them and how loyal they'll be. They'll be more loyal than the motherfucker that you share clothes with and sleep in the same bed with.
yeah.
So
Yeah, because you feed them and take care of them. So
yeah, so I don't have a problem with them. At the same time, I say that I'm never gonna compare um, the dog that I purchased to be my son or daughter's companion while they're young I would never compare them with each other.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. It's certain things that it's gonna have. I'm not saying that I'm Jim Brown's coach, where I'd be like, niggas ain't allowed in the house. But it's that's my dog. I'm gonna treat my dog accordingly. He's gonna be treated like better than most dogs. But at the same time, that's a dog, and that's my son or daughter.
Right. Right. And that's how it should be. Like there should be a distinct difference between the two. But some people be like putting them on the same level, and I just, you know, that just ain't my ministry.
Nah,
This ain't my ministry.
nah.
But what is my ministry is reality TV. And you did inform me that you did see Bad Boys Texas.
I did. I did. I watched the
So,
shit out of that.
what are your thoughts about Bad Boys Texas?
Oh shit. Okay, so
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, should we go over who's on Bad Boys Texas?
let's do that.
Okay, let me pull it up. Okay, we have from the original season that was in LA. We have Jonathan Wright. Jonathan Wright is the famed hairstylist. Carry On Franklin, who is the son of Kirk Franklin. Relly B, who is Where the Money Resides. And Anthony Hernandez, who is Anthony Uncensored. And then we have Raz B of B2K and Orlando Brown. The famous Orlando Brown, we've been knowing him since he was a child. And then Prince from Love and Hip Hop Miami, and Big Lou. Big Lou was Saucy Santana's boyfriend at one point. Then we have people that you don't know: Mo City, D, Adonis, and Ara. So those are the cast members of Bad Boys Texas. So what are your thoughts?
Oh man. Shout out to Orlando Brown for being the voice of reason in a fucking toxic, chaotic fucking situation. Man, listen, we got these dudes, and I say the term loosely because people are translucent. We got these gender fluid people, so I don't want to offend nobody, but we got these guys that were born male, uh, who are catty and bitchified as much as possible. Um, and you got Orlando Brown who is in there as a married man.
That part.
Um, and is trying to keep some kind of peace so far. I don't know how this is going to go. Um, but I do know, and I ain't seen anything but 4 episodes, but I do know if they keep pressing Orlando Brown, they're gonna open up a Pandora's box that they really don't. I don't really think they prepare for. They prepare. They all of them like to show out. I don't really think they know what showing out is. Orlando does. Orlando definitely does.
Yeah,
Uh,
I believe he's familiar.
yeah. I think it's weird. One thing I will comment on is, and I guess it's my Napoleon complex in me, but it's always the big nigga in that motherfucker that's a real ass bitch ass nigga. You a bitch
Big
ass
Lou.
that chef nigga,
Yeah.
and
Or
I
Chef
don't know him personally. I don't know anything about this man. I need to look him up, but his actions were so pussified.
Wait, hold on. Is it Chef D?
Chef
That's
did
his name, Chef D. Yeah.
his actions be so pussified, man. I don't understand that shit. That sneak dissing he keep doing. Like
Keep
that
going.
whole I be blacking out, I don't know what I'm doing. Nigga, you know what
That's
you
a
doing.
lie.
You
That's a
jumping
lie.
niggas. You
Yeah.
as big as you is, you don't want to fight a nigga head up for real.
Yeah.
Like
And
I don't get niggas like that. And like I said, maybe it's my Napoleon complex growing up how I grew up. I used to always knock out the big nigga because I knew that nigga was soft. If he waited for other niggas to get around him and he's still the biggest nigga, oh man, I'm aiming directly at you.
yeah. And just to correct myself, Big Lou is not Saucy Santana's ex-boyfriend. It's Chef D that's Saucy Santana's ex-boyfriend.
Okay, okay.
But Chef D is the biggest one and the biggest bitch in the whole cast. Because you a bitch if you out here jumping folks at your big ass age and your big ass body. You don't need to jump nobody unless you really can't fight. And on top of that, he wears a hair piece and a beard piece. He's wax sauce. Get him the fuck up out of here. I'm tired of seeing his little, or not little, because he's damn near 7 feet. But I'm
Time
tired of
out.
seeing his ass.
Time out. See, because
Yeah.
I don't be pressing niggas like that. Now, I always thought his beard was suspect because that motherfucker, you know how Steve Harvey had that line where everybody tried to get that Steve Harvey line and was wondering why they couldn't because they realized it was a fucking hairpiece. I did. I was like, damn, why that nigga line is perfect. So I you know what I'm saying. I didn't know about the top piece, but that bottom piece, yes, makes so much sense.
If you go back and look at that fight that he had with I think it was the second fight he had with Anthony Uncensored, when Anthony's people pulled up, his piece was coming up on the sides.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Yes, it was bad. It was bad. The beard stayed intact, but that hairpiece was coming up on the sides. And I didn't know that neither one of them was fake until I got on Twitter. I think like after the first episode, and somebody called out that his beard and his hair was fake. And then when he had that fight and the shit was pulling up on the sides, I was like, oh yeah, that's a bad piece. That's a bad
Yeah.
piece. But yeah.
Either way it go, bad piece or not, beard fake or not, like that's just unbecoming of a man. Like the things I seen this man do is just unbecoming of a man. Plus the whole situation of him having a fight with Raz B on that on the van over
Yeah.
yeah. Raz B shouldn't have been that kind how he was, you know, trying to tell motherfuckers a fight may pop off because he heard that from somebody and then he decided to share it with somebody else. Raz B shouldn't have did that, but at the same time, it's like, nigga, first of all, this is Raz B. Like, let's just keep it real with ourselves. Like, I don't know this man personally, but what I do know is this the same dude that accused everybody in his camp of being sexually abused and still rock with these niggas to this day. So you know this nigga's messy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand the reason why you felt like you needed to pop off. And then you popped off on other niggas for $600? Like you niggas supposed to be the bad boys in Texas. You were fighting niggas over $600. I'm not even gonna fight a nigga over $600, and I'm not a bad boy in Kansas City.
Right.
Like,
Maybe
what the
bad boy
fuck?
adjacent. Right. But yeah. Yeah, that was some broke nigga shit.
Exactly.
That was some broke nigga shit. Yeah.
This niggas again, I don't know you, Chef D, but I can guarantee you if you ran up on me, nigga, I'm fighting you one on one.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know I can guarantee you. Like if
Right.
you
But
run up on
he
me,
did all that talking, and he knew that he gave the security guards time to get to him, because if you really wanted to fight Rasby head up, you would have fought him. You didn't have to do all that talking. You didn't have to, do all that.
yeah, I don't understand big South niggas. I don't understand niggas like that. because I never even engaged into like being cool with big South niggas. Like it don't matter your preference. You can like boys, you can like girls, hell, you can like dogs. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Well, I might give a fuck about the dog part,
Hey man, hey, that's your bag.
but
That's your bag. Only thing I'm saying is, dude, for you to be the bohemian of a man you is, you should not be trying to jump people, especially sneaking Raha Banger like this little that motherfucker like 5'3".
dude, that shit was crazy. That shit was straight crazy, and that motherfucker is like, that motherfucker has been shot 1,000,001 times. Like, I don't want to touch him. He might fold.
The funny part about it, what nobody pays attention to, but I paid attention to, uh, he snuck him from the back, and and that little nigga shrugged that shit off like it was nothing.
He did.
Nigga, if I hit you from the back, nigga, I'm folding the shit out of you.
Right. And then
Pause.
when he
Pause, because them niggas is weird. So pause.
and
But you
then
know what I mean.
when he fought Anthony Uncensored the second time, um, the only reason why Anthony Uncensored had scratches and was bleeding and shit like that was because he had on rings. It wasn't because he was doing damage. And Anthony Uncensored is light as they come. You know what I mean? So with your big ass, you really not doing nothing. So I suggest you sit down somewhere.
So I'm
You
like, I
jumping
just don't
and you
understand.
really not causing no damage. If you gonna jump, at least cause some damage. But damn, you not even doing that.
Cause he a big ass soft nigga. Like
Yeah.
big ass soft nigga. I knew a couple big ass soft niggas, and I didn't hang around them big ass soft niggas because I knew they was big ass soft niggas. At the same time, I say that I know big ass niggas that don't be on shit, that be the coolest niggas in the world. And when y'all get them agitated, they don't need everybody. They'll run through the whole fucking crowd.
Yeah.
So I don't understand niggas like him getting off of that soft ass nigga.
Yeah.
Um, I want to talk about my man Raha Banger.
Okay.
Uh that man got a lot of trauma and he got a lot of trust issues. And this ain't me trying to be funny or none of that shit. The world against that man, in his mind, that's how he thinks. And I think they really need to like I don't know if they're gonna do it further into this show, but I do really need think that they need to look into that and see if they can one of those spots that they go to, whatever tour they on, whatever spot they need to go to, they need to see if that nigga can talk to a therapist for real. Cause there's some shit uh with that guy, man, that they need to address because he's too grown to have this type of immature manner about him where he feel like um when things get too heavy, he has to fight his way out.
Yeah. I do agree with you. Something is deeper going on with him that um it would be a good thing if he were to get some help. And it would be interesting for us to see him get the help, you know.
Right.
Um, but one positive thing was when Jonathan went out and shopped for him. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool, you know. So, and he didn't do it on no like trying to be funny type of time because I just, even when he was doing his interview talking about it, I just knew that he was gonna be on some like shady type shit, and he wasn't, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool that he looked out for him, because I mean, it he got a lot going on, and he probably is not that financially well like some of the rest of them, you know. So Yeah, so his swag probably does look a bit off from the rest. But
Right.
he wasn't shading him or nothing like that. He was just like, I thought this would be a good idea. So here goes some stuff. You can wear this. You can wear this
Yeah.
tonight. It's all you. So I thought that was a good bonding moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think even hothead Jonathan look at it and be like, damn, that's a nigga that's lost for real. That know what I'm saying? That's a
Mhm.
nigga that know what I'm saying. It really is the back against the ropes.
Right,
Like,
right,
and so you know, I
right. And it showed the good side of Jonathan too. You know what I
that's what I
mean?
was about to say. It
Because
shows
on
you
the
like
first,
Jonathan ain't always the nigga that's gonna pop off. Like this nigga do got a heart, but he's shit. We all grew up with a nigga like that was a hothead that every other hood
yeah,
wanted this nigga head, but this nigga was feeding all the grandmas in the neighborhood that we knew. So we loved that nigga.
right, right, right. And then um with Jonathan, we didn't really get to see too much of Jonathan because of how the shit played out on season one. And then our introduction to him on season two, he fighting. So
Right.
it was good to see another side of him, you know. But but yeah. Um, is this something that you will be interested in continuing to watch?
Yeah. And the only reason is like again because what I've seen so far is Orlando Brown is actually the voice of fucking reason, which is
Mhm.
crazy to me, and
Right.
it's so crazy. But at the end, it's like, yeah, this is that. Yup. This is actually what it's supposed to be because like that nigga's actually crazy. Like let know what I'm saying. Not to be that kind and not to disrespect Orlando Brown, but that nigga will actually go there and stand on it. You niggas ain't gonna do that shit. You niggas will
Right
switch
on.
up for a bag. That nigga ain't gonna do that. So him being the voice of reason is almost like it's supposed to be that because because he's one of them like nah. Because if y'all want to go crazy, Orlando can show you how to go completely fucking crazy.
Straight up. Straight up. You know.
Like he can show you how to do that from A to Z.
Right. He is that person.
Man,
And that's the crazy part about this whole experience is that we are seeing a different side of him that we know is there. And he is uh he is entertaining in a different way, because we're used to seeing him do his antics and stuff online and whatnot. But we forget that he is an actor and a really good one at that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't get to see him just act normal. But compared to these bozos, he's normal as they come.
Oh my god, when he did that, you know how they do the sides where they do, you know what I'm saying? They do the commentary. Uh,
Hmm.
when when that nigga Banger was talking about keep on fighting, when Orlando was like, sometimes you just need to know when to give it up. Like you need
Right.
to fucking know when to stop. I thought that
Right.
shit was fucking hilarious because nigga Lou beat the shit out of you four
Right.
fucking times in
4
a day.
times.
In a
Right.
day.
Within a 30-minute span. Like
Like I've never met a nigga that got his ass whooped four times in a row by the same nigga on the same day.
yeah. I watched somebody's review and they reviewed the fights and they were like, one fight I couldn't give it to both of them because of this. One fight Big Lou did win. One fight I think Rob won, and then one fight Big Lou won. So it was like one draw, one raw, and then two Big Lou. Compared to, I mean, according to this person that I watched,
It was
and I
no
was just like,
fucking draw. It was
I
no fucking draw.
right. I didn't necessarily agree with that one, so it was up in the air. But you know, um, it looked like whatever Big Lou was throwing. it hurt. Them things
Big
look
Lou
like
was
they
stinging
hurt.
the shit out. Listen,
Yeah,
how it went was Lou won 4 fights.
yeah.
Um, that last fight, Rod won, and only reason why I give Rod that victory because uh, Big Lou, I don't even think he was even trying because the nigga threw some. That's one thing I know about a nigga that can fight for real. I've watched a nigga swing on a nigga that can fight for real, and the nigga dodge that shit and then put his dukes down and smile at him. I seen Big Lou do the same shit and then just go ahead and let the nigga hit him. And you know what I'm saying? So he could feel like he won the fight. The thing
Right,
that escalated Big Lou was then the nigga started trying to pull his hair and all that
right.
shit. That's why he was
He
like,
pulled
nah,
it
we
out.
can give one for real. Well, I will really fight you and beat the shit out of you.
Right, right. He pulled it out. He had like a patch missing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was
And
a.
he,
I think he wanted to give him the victory. Like, man, go ahead and punch me a couple
right,
times. I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it. But then he pulled his
right,
hair and he was like, "Nah, bitch, I'll kill you."
right, right. Like I do this, you know. Yeah, but I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that because he didn't want to fight him for real. He didn't want to fight him again. He was like, dude, we didn't already fought 4 times. Like, damn, you know. So, but yeah, him pulling his hair got him
That was
activated.
it. Cause I seen that nigga throw.
Yeah.
He was throwing haymakers too, and that nigga shook up out the way, dodged that shit, and smiled and dropped his dukes. I said, "Oh, he just gonna give it to him at this point. Go ahead and get it."
Mhm. Yeah. But in the same breath, I understand Ira wanting his lick back. And I understand him not being able to put that shit down. So I get both sides. I get both sides. But you
I
had
would only
4
get both
times,
sides because
huh?
I know what it was to be young, and because I've been in situations where I didn't fought a nigga and a nigga whooped my ass, and the very next time I fight you, nigga, well, not even the very next time I fight you, the very next time I see you, we got to fight because I got to get my lick back. I get that. That
Hmm.
I understand,
Yeah.
because I've done that growing up. What
Right.
I didn't understand was you getting your ass whooped 4 times in a row by the same nigga
Right.
and still wanting to fight this nigga.
Like, yeah.
I've never been in a situation where a nigga whooped my ass 4 times,
Right.
but I still said, yeah, the fifth one's a charm. Like, no,
Right.
at this
Right.
point, I'm gonna try to shoot you. I just
Right.
that was
Right.
just the
Like,
mentality I grew up in these streets.
right. Yeah, if you whoop my ass 4 times, I probably won't fight you a fifth time, but it's up and stuck.
Yeah,
Like
it's
we're
up.
not
We
cool.
definitely there,
We're not
but I'm
cool.
not fighting no more.
Right.
Like
We
at
may
this
not fight
point,
no more, but I'm not cool. Yeah.
yeah. Cause how that have went for me, it would have been like the nigga, everybody in the world telling me this nigga got me. So when I see this nigga again, we gotta fight. If this nigga get me again, fuck it, he just got me. I ain't even tripping off of it. And the next time I see him, if he want to get it in, I ain't gonna be a bitch. I'm a fight. But if he get me again, I'm like, oh, so he just trying to embarrass me. It's not gonna be a fourth or a fifth time, my nigga. The next time you run up on me, I'm gonna shoot the shit out of you because I know you can whoop me.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, no. No, we're good. I'm done. I'm done. Because at this point, okay, we get it. You can fight better than me. We get it.
Yeah.
Like, move on.
Now every
Move
time I
on.
see you, it's a problem, bro. I'm about to end that shit
No.
real fast.
Right. We're not doing that. Because I want to move freely around. And I don't want to have my head on a swivel when it comes to you. No, we need to be done. We ain't cool. We ain't about to piece it up, but
Yeah,
we ain't
but
fighting
we
no
ain't
more
fighting
either.
every time we see each other, nigga.
Right,
Because I will shoot
right,
the shit out of you.
right. Like whatever you done, it ain't that deep for me to be like on site every time I see you. So we're good. We're good.
I'm not gonna do that. We banged it out. We banged it out twice as men, and then you
Right,
wanted to fight again, and I gave it to you, and I still lost. So I got 3 losses on my belt. You think every
right.
time you see me, you about to pull up your dukes and be that kind, nigga? First of all, none of us is trained fighters, so your natural ability is to whoop my ass. You know what my natural ability is? Is to adapt. So you know what I'm gonna do to your fist? I'm going to pull a fucking pistol.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you, y'all.
Right.
I don't got no reason to lie. I done told y'all 100 times, man. I ain't got no reason to lie to y'all. In my age right now, if I fight you and you whoop my ass, you want a fair one, we can get one off. We can get another one off if you want that. Now, if you want to always fight me every time you see me, my nigga, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're threatening me at this point, so I
Yeah,
need to neutralize the threat.
I'm going to shoot. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, and I'm not gonna be scared to be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
just know every time you see me, if you really on that fight shit, you know I'm going to shoot you. So
Right.
if you don't want it to end up being two black men dead in the street, you might as well just let it be over.
Right. Right. Take your wins and just move on because we're not gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna be fucking 65 years old fighting you. I'm not doing
No,
that
fuck
at
no.
all. At all. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so that is Bad Boys, Texas. So looks like it's gonna be a good season. So we're definitely gonna be revisiting that.
Yeah, I'm invested in this one. And it's strictly because Orlando.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, like after the first episode premiered, he trended on Twitter because everybody was feeling like how we feel about him. Like, yeah. So shout out to Orlando Brown. And the whole cast because it is
Shout out to him.
entertaining.
Shout out to Rel. I really fuck with Relly. Relly got real life issues, man, and he still remains a phenomenal entertainer, man. And this is the nigga that came from where the money resides. So please give the utmost respect. It don't matter where you come from; it's where you land in life, and he is landing very good, even with the
Yeah,
issues he's going through. Shout
yeah.
out to Relly.
He did it. He definitely did the thing with capitalizing on his moment. Um, I follow him on Instagram, and he had put up a post not too long ago talking about how because you know he did the whole money reside thing, being a car dealer, and I think it was for Honda. He was at another dealership uh weeks before that video came out, and they let him go because they didn't really care about his social media presence.
Hmm.
And then he went to that dealership that was all for his social media presence and him making videos and stuff like that about the dealership and stuff. And so I remember watching his journey after he went viral and whatnot. And he started like um, taking bookings and stuff. And he talked about how the dealership was very supportive with the journey and everything. And I was like, I bet they were because they were getting revenue
Yeah.
off of them videos. Like people was coming to Baton Rouge to buy cars from him because he went viral. I remember Super Cent went and bought a Accord from him. So yeah. So shout out to him. Um but yeah. So moving on, we are at the fucked up song of the podcast, which comes to us by Fantasia. It's Ain't Gonna Beg You. This was on her first album, Free Yourself. It was written and produced by Missy Elliott. And it was the very first song, very first song on the album. So this is how she started. It is, like I said, was her first album on the heels of her winning American Idol. So here goes the song. The intro. I mean, I'm not gonna beg you. I see you just ain't acting right. Huh, that's okay. Verse 1. Every time I need someone to be there when I had me one of those crazy days, I ain't gonna beg you. Every time I want someone to treat me like they always said they were gonna treat me like, I ain't gonna beg you. Because I let you slide before, but I see you ain't gonna learn. Since you like to play with fire, then I'ma let us burn. Boy, you ain't nothing. Gonna miss my loving. And last time was the last time, so I'm through with you. Course. No, I ain't gonna beg you no more. I'm sick and tired of waiting, don't know what I'm waiting for. Cause you know you don't treat me like you should. When you know I'm the coldest thing about this hood. No, I ain't gonna beg you no more. And if you're not down with this, then baby, there's the door. I'm usually not the type to just lay it down and quit, but a lot of men will get with this, so I ain't gonna beg you no more. Verse 2. Every time I want to be wined and dined, taken out on a Friday night just to spend a little time, I ain't gonna beg you. And every time I need some hugging and some loving, but it's late and I don't get nothing, I ain't gonna beg you. Cause I let you slide before, but I see you ain't gonna learn. Since you like to play with fire, then I'ma let us burn. Boy, you ain't nothing. Gonna miss my loving. And last time was the last time, so I'm through with you. Then the chorus again. And then the bridge. Said I'm through with being patient. I ain't here for you just to come and take it when you want to take it. You took it all for granted. Oh, all that good love and all that freaky stuff is all gone. If that's how you is, then let me tell you this. Take your lame old tired excuses somewhere else. Cause you're weak and I don't want to hear it. Stay away. I don't want to get near it. Cause boy, I'm moving on without you. And then the chorus again. And that's ain't gonna beg you. So what are your thoughts?
Oh man.
Ain't
First off,
gonna
shout out to
beg
Missy.
you.
Before this show, I found out through Lindsay that Missy helped write at least half of that project. Shout out to Missy for writing great
Ooh,
hits. Oh
you know
what?
what? I completely lied.
Oh shit! Wait a minute. Let me backtrack all that shit.
No, she helped write and produce the majority of the album, but this song in particular, she did not. Tank wrote
Okay.
this song.
All right, good. Because I was about to say, damn, Missy was going off some real shit that
Yeah,
happened in her life that was severely fucked up. But even just moving on past that, Missy wrote great songs for Fantasia. For me,
yeah.
this doesn't happen to be one. I did not know about this song because I only knew about the hits on this album, and I'm not downplaying Fantasia. Fantasia is a phenomenal artist. At that time, I just wasn't a Fantasia fan. Uh, but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about what's fucked up about this song. What's fucked up about this song is, you know, um, she is leaving a man, and not only is she leaving a man, she's bringing up all the shit that this nigga ain't about to get no more. And I get it. You know, a lot of women wanna be that kind, but that's gonna fall on deaf ears to the nigga that don't give a fuck in the first place.
Hmm.
Um, being funny but not being funny, like these niggas don't these niggas don't give a fuck. Most of the time they upgraded past Fantasia. If Fantasia was the scenario of this, these niggas moved past the bitch that couldn't read. So um, you just got to chop it up, ladies. Like songs like this. If this song, if you're relating to this song, like yeah, all this shit is gone, and you ain't gonna get this no more from me, and you ain't gonna get this no more from me, and you ain't gonna get these nights. Those days where you didn't see this nigga for days and nights, he was getting that shit from somewhere else. So don't nobody give a fuck.
So they don't give a fuck because they already done moved on. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying?
that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Um, songs like this, they fucked up because you know it's like one of them where you like, oh yeah, this is what you ain't getting no more. And what you want, like the nigga is calling them. Sometimes these niggas ain't calling you. Motherfucker that came up and told you like, damn, you ain't talking to Trevor no more, and you like, fuck Trevor, bop, he ain't getting this no more. Trevor ain't worried. Trevor ain't called you for a reason.
Mm, okay. I see your point. I see your point. I can't deny your point. Yeah. He
And
probably
see,
has already moved on.
most of these women say weird shit, and most of these dudes, I ain't even gonna lie, cause dudes do it too. They say some weird shit like, yeah, that bitch ain't calling me back because she knows she wrong. No, this bitch is getting her back blown out by another nigga. So she don't give a fuck, my dude.
Oh, yeah.
She not. Either she getting her back blown out by another nigga or she's just being happy without you bringing up everything into, you know what I'm saying, to her face. And that goes with women. A lot of times, men or women, I'm gonna just tell y'all for real, because they put it in a song of I'm doing this and I'm doing that and all this, you ain't getting this no more. If they did it on the song, they do it in real life to you. And don't nobody want to keep hearing that shit every day, all day. You think a motherfucker want to always come home to a motherfucker that tells them what they doing for them? Like, don't nobody want to hear that shit. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this, and you can't even do this, bitch. We doing this shit together equally. If I fucked up on one thing, that ain't, know what I'm saying, that ain't everything. But like, nah, yo, I ain't fucking with him no more. Fuck it. He don't do this and he don't do that and blah, vice versa. She don't do this and she don't do that. Wah. And the reason why she ain't calling me, because she know she on some fucked up shit. No, the reason why she ain't calling you, because the nigga was like, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm just trying to fuck. And she was fucking.
Mm, okay. You know? Um, yeah. I mean, I can't argue with your logic because I do understand it. I do understand what you're saying. Like they pretty much have already moved on. If
Yeah.
it's to the point where you telling them something like that.
Yeah. Well,
They're
why you gotta
slacking
tell
off
them
the
that shit?
but I mean, but that I don't see that always being the case. They could just be, they didn't got hella comfortable and they're just like you gotta let them you gotta put them on notice. Like I'm peeping that this shit is lacking and this is something that I need. So if you ain't trying to step up, you're gonna be missing me. Especially if they're not lacking. If they're still doing what um what you expect for them to do and what they want to do in the relationship, and what they need in return, you then slacked off, then that there's a conversation that needs to be had, you know.
You right, but that conversation shouldn't be the what you ain't gonna get no more.
Well, some people take it there, you know what I'm saying? Because some people look at it as a tit for tat thing. And then some people are just like being a realist. Like, if you don't, straighten up and fly right, then I'm not gonna beg you to do it. I'm gonna go and find somebody else that don't have a problem with doing it consistently.
Then go do that. I'm just one of them people. I'm sorry. I'm just one of them. It's like, but and maybe I'm biased. I know what I'm saying. Maybe
Mhm.
I'm biased because I know what I'm saying. I know what I do. That I don't look for rewards for, and that's only because I've grown as a man. So
And I get that too, but the thing is that like if when you're in a relationship, if there was something that you were doing in the beginning, and there's something that they've told you from the beginning that they need in a relationship, and you had no problem with doing it in the beginning, you understood, you have no problem. And then you slacked off, then a conversation needs to be had. So you let that person know, hey, X, Y, and Z, you know what, you right. I have been slacking. I'll do better. Okay, that's all I ask. Then it falls off again. And then it falls off again. And then more things are falling off too. Then another conversation is had. To where you're getting fed up with having these conversations and you just like, you know what? I need this. I need that. I need the third. You were doing it before. Now you're having a problem with doing it. If you don't want to do it, I'm not gonna beg you to do it. I'm just gonna find another motherfucker that will do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you want it to get to that point or nah? So I'm putting you on notice. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be mad. You can't be mad at that because at least I'm not trying to go find somebody else. And it could be very well that you're not out there doing something else. It's just some shit that you done slacked off on. So we need to figure this shit out. If this is what you want, this is what I need out of this relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it could be a simple fix. It could be something that you didn't even realize that you weren't doing. You know? So
I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
I agree. I'm I'm
yeah.
I'm with you, just like you was with me. Like I totally agree. Um, because that shit does happen. You know,
Mhm. Right. You get
you run into
comfortable and
those
you
things.
slack. Yeah. You get comfortable and you slack. Now, where the problem lies is when you do go step out without having a conversation. That's where the problem lies. Now, that's a real issue because now if you get caught cheating or whatever and you get confronted about that, you like the go-to response is, oh, but you weren't doing X, Y, and Z. Well, motherfucker, you didn't say that was an issue that I wasn't doing X, Y, and Z. You acted like shit was straight. Well, you need to say something. If that's what you need to say something instead of going to find somebody else to do it and having me here. Now you lying, leading the double life. Now it's a bigger problem because now you lost me on some bullshit when it could have been a simple fix.
And this is why it's the fucked up song of the week, because it
Right.
doesn't give you any concept or of where this happened and where this fucking wedge came into this relationship. So it could have been many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But the issue is here.
yeah, the thing for me is with a song like this, when you're compiling everything I'm doing wrong, uh I'm gonna always double back on to um, what is this relationship became, because if you telling me everything I'm doing wrong and what I'm not gonna get anymore, um, this started from somewhere. When did it start? And why you didn't say it from the get go? Because I understand the whole thing about, I've talked about this before and I talked about this before. What people got to understand about people is if they're not used to a certain way of living, they have to adapt to it. And adaptability doesn't, it's not an overnight thing.
Mhm.
So sometimes you are going to say a lot of things until you're blue in the face. Just like people that have children that hate to say things over and over again to their children.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you have to do for a motherfucker to actually get it. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the honest God truth, especially in dealing with a relationship. Now, I'm not saying everything. Like, I'm not saying you got to over and over again say to you fucking blue in the face to stop cheating on me. I'm never gonna say that. Like, you shouldn't even have those type of conversations. And I'm also not saying you should over and over again tell a motherfucker that you seek validation or love validation. There's certain things that certain people know about you in the beginning of a relationship that you can't keep up. But certain things always are just lapsed on people because of how people are. It could be how people were raised. It could be how just people view certain things. Certain things are lapsed off, and and those things you're gonna always say over and over again until you're blue in the face, because them people don't understand it the way you do. Even with that being said, it's not a ultimatum in that. You shouldn't do that. I just recently did this. I'll just because this is the fucked up song of the podcast, I'll recently tell you some shit that happened to me. On Mother's Day, I mixed the days up because I never celebrated Mother's Day. I don't know anything about it. My mother's a Jehovah's Witness, so she never celebrated it. So I confused the 14th with the 15th. I had a bunch of shit planned out for the 15th that I was gonna do for Mother's Day. Didn't pan out because on the 14th she was like, "Damn, you ain't even gonna wish me a Mother's Day or whoop." And I'm like, "That's tomorrow." Like in my head, I'm like, "Nigga, that's tomorrow. What are you talking about?" And then she showed me, and I was like, "Oh, I do apologize." So I gave her the card, but I wasn't gonna give her everything because everything was planned for the next day. So a lot of things were scheduled for the next day. She did that Fantasia shit. She gave me ultimatums and was that kind of was so upset about that even though I told her I got something planned for you, it's just for tomorrow. She still was hell bent on that day. And she was mad as a motherfucker. She'll tell you she was hot as fish grease. And now that very next day, I could have been that nigga that listened to a song like this and then try to make up. And I was like, I ain't doing none of that. So when she asked me about it, I was like, nah, I'm not about it. All that shit got canceled because of the way you fucking acted real quick and real fast instead of listening to what I said. You could have waited a day, but you couldn't wait a day. You had an attitude for a day and now you lost a whole nother day. You fucked up 2 days. Your fault. Something you did. Because you could have just been like, oh, okay, cool. He gave me this card and I know I got something coming the next day. Because nothing was scheduled until that day.
Right.
Fast forward, because I'm not one of those niggas and Fantasia's song. I'm not that nigga. I waited till the shit died down, and then yesterday, I did everything that I told in my mind I knew I was gonna do for Mother's Day. And she was very happy, very elated. And I was like, all you had to do is just be patient. Like I acknowledged my fuck up, but I wasn't going to pander to the attitude. So that's one of those things like included with this song. It's like, don't give me no ultimatum. Don't tell me all this shit is gone and all this and all that. Cause I ain't playing catch up at that point. Ain't nobody doing no catch up.
So you punished her for her actions.
I didn't punish her. It wasn't a punish to it because she's not a kid. I just can't.
That's what it sounded like.
No, what it sounded like is I can't allow you to do that shit to me. You know, shoot me down and tell me that I, you know what I'm saying, what I did to you was wrong and I wasn't thinking about you when I was thinking about you. I just made a mistake on what day it was.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, what I'm not going to do at the same time is double back on that because you was already, whatever you said this day, the next day, now if I do it for you, you're going to be like, you only did that because you know what I'm saying, because I was mad yesterday. No, all this shit was already planned. But I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of doing that. And when I say satisfaction, I take that back. I'm not going to give you the resolve of doing that because then with anybody, if I'm not going to make that a routine where you feel like if you blow up, I'll give you what you want.
But I mean, she was getting it regardless.
She was going to get it regardless. But I'm not going to give it to you because you blew up on it. Because if I gave it to you that day, you saying, oh, you only doing that because I said something. No. Hell no.
Well, I don't think it would have even been that because, I mean, you told her that you messed up the day and you told her that the shit was planned the next day. And we're not going to change those plans. So I don't think it would have necessarily been, oh, well, you only doing this because because it was already done. Now, I'm with you I'm with you on the part rather that okay, this ain't something I normally do because this is not how I was raised. However, I'm doing it anyway for you. I just messed up today. So you got to kind of give me you got to give me something because of that instance. It's not like somebody like me who wasn't brought up Jehovah's Witness um that celebrated Mother's Day every year and know it's on a Sunday. You know what I mean? So I think she should have, paid it, but she didn't. She was upset. I can see her feeling some type of way about it not being on that day. Because a simple looking at the calendar would tell you it's on that day. So I can see why she would be upset as well. But then I would have just paid it. Hey, he messed up the day. He said the shit is gonna happen on Monday. So we're gonna make it happen on Monday. Now, if you wouldn't have did shit on Monday, then we would have had a problem. But
See, that's the thing,
yeah,
because that's a logical way of thinking. If you wouldn't
mhm,
have blew up that day,
yeah, I would have blew up Monday. I would have
yeah,
waited till about 7:30.
exactly.
Ain't
You would
shit
have blew up Monday.
happened.
You would have blew up Monday if I didn't know what I'm saying. If I didn't do nothing.
Right.
The thing is, she blew up on that day. And
Yeah.
it's shout out to Jasmine. I'm not shooting Jasmine down or nothing. We've had a long conversation about that, and she understood where I was coming from. And then she did admit, like, yeah, I just overreacted. Um,
Hmm.
and that's the thing. When she overreacted and she gave me that attitude that she did, when I say she gave me an attitude, people that's listening to me right now, you do not ever in life forget Mother's Day when you have a pregnant woman, because those emotions are serious. Because I'm never gonna downplay her emotions. Like I told her, I would never downplay her emotions. At the same
Hmm.
time, I don't ever want anybody to think because they blow up in front of me, then I play catch up and try to make you feel better. No, you have to live in those feelings.
Now, what if the blow up is justified?
If the blow up is justified, then yeah, you deal with that. You deal with that and you move on. I just knew the blow up wasn't justified. So I wasn't gonna do none of that. Like I wasn't gonna play catch up with that, because like I said, and even she'll admit, if she was here, next time she's here and we ever talk about it, even she'll admit, she said, like, yeah, if you would have did something for me Monday, I would have been like, yeah, that's only because he forgot. And I'm like, nah, I had a bunch of shit. Like the shit that I got for her, you can't just come up out of a day. This shit, I had to go to a jeweler and get this shit done and engraved and all this shit. Like things I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. These shits was there and
Hmm.
ready. Like reservations, all these things that, know what I'm saying, I set up. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna play catch up, because I ain't gonna make the situation worse by you thinking I'm gonna play catch up. What I'm gonna do is, as soon as you settle down, I'm gonna give you what I told you I was gonna give you.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would have preferred for you to have just done it on Monday, but if she agrees with how you handled it, then that works for y'all.
Again, you would have agreed to that, because when I would have told you that, Lindsay, and I ain't saying there's anything wrong with Jasmine, but I just know pregnant emotions go haywire. What I'm saying is, you would agree to that because you would have said, oh, okay, well, shit, something better come up Monday. And
Mhm.
shit would have came up Monday. You wouldn't
Yeah.
have looked at the card that I gave you and tossed that bitch in the trash and told me that you was gonna, know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just I'm gonna just spend my day at my daddy's house.
Mm,
Like, you wouldn't have did that.
yeah.
Had you would have did that, the nigga you was with would have been like, I'm not about to show up Monday because she gonna think I'm lying now. Like, I just made this shit up.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. But if you said the whole like engraving and stuff like that, yeah, you can't just come up with that on a Sunday to have it ready on a Monday.
Exactly.
So yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like a pregnant woman's emotions would be a little elevated. So you do have to give her a little grace for that.
And I did. I gave her full grace for that.
Hmm. Yeah.
I gave her full grace because I love her, and she, you know what I'm saying. That's my girl, and you know what I'm saying. I would, I give her the world if I could.
Hmm.
And but even she said like even she said she'll tell you like she was glad that I presented that shit when I presented that shit instead of it, you know what I'm saying, presenting it like when she was still mad for real because she wouldn't have,
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, she wouldn't have appreciated it.
Yeah. But that goes to, knowing the person that you're with, you know what I'm saying, and how you guys operate in your relationship. Because
Yeah,
everybody's relationship is different. So there's not one answer to a scenario because it's not everybody's not the same,
exactly.
you know. So the way one person would have handled it, another person probably have a whole different ideology on how to handle it. Yeah. So but she hit you with the "I ain't gonna beg you" speech, huh?
Yeah, she did that. She hit me with all that. She went. I'm talking about she went ham. When I say she threw my shit in the trash, I was like, what?
Yeah, that would have hurt my heart if somebody throw
I
my
said,
car in the
damn.
trash.
I'll
Yeah.
sit there like, you don't even know what I got planned for you.
Mhm.
Like you don't even know what I got. Like, and I was like, damn, you gonna do? I said, you know what? And she'll tell you. I said, hey man, we not gonna argue about this. You how you feel, this how you feel. And I left it at that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but just for future reference, Mother's Day is always on a Sunday in May. Now the
right,
date might change, but it was always on a Sunday in May.
right. Because that's all I did. Like I just looked up Mother's Day and it pulled up the 15th, so I thought it was the 15th.
Yeah, you probably looked it up for 2022.
Yeah, I don't know how I looked it up, but I know it came up the 15th, so I knew I had to get everything together for the 15th.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 No.
And that's just me trying.
Yeah. Right, 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 right. Well, I mean, at least you tried because you could be an individual that's just like it's against my religion and leave it at that.
I
You
could
know
have.
what I'm saying? Because I've dealt with motherfuckers that certain things they just never celebrated, and that's just what it was. So
And that's the thing. And anybody in relationships, I'll tell you that now. Unless y'all have one of those relationships where you already stepped in and said this is not going down around me. I never did that with Jasmine. Um, so we're different in that aspect. She understands that I don't really do holidays, so I don't care about certain things. Like if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't have cared if she forgot about Father's Day because I've never experienced it. It's one of those things that you don't miss what you don't have. So
mhm,
it wouldn't have bothered me, but with her, she's seen it growing up. She's seen holidays growing up. I've never seen them, so I don't trip off certain things. Like if she told me I didn't get you nothing for Christmas, it's not gonna be a sweat off my back
mhm,
because I know what she does for me all year anyway. So I love her for that.
yeah,
Um, but I'm different. Again, I'm not everybody else. Some people would
right,
take offense to that. I would never.
right, right. Some people it'll be a big deal. Some people it won't be a deal at all. Some people
Exactly.
it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. But that is Fantasia ain't gonna beg you. So what is Jerry's final thoughts?
You don't have anything to say?
No,
Okay.
no, yeah.
Shoot. Jerry's final thoughts. We've watched another icon pass. and going to their next journey in life. Um, we've watched a young man almost, because we don't know what the outcome is, but as we see, he almost lost a promising future. I guess my Jerry's final thoughts at this point would be to understand the small time that we have on this earth and the level that we have this small time on earth. Some of us have moments where we can be great and we can be destructive. Everybody in John Morant's generation, uh, they can hold him of high esteem and they can say, what he did was justified and they can ride with that. And that's cool. You have your opinion and you can ride with that. I happen to be in a generation that was a couple of generations under Jim Brown, where I realized everything he did at one point actually meant something for us. So let's try to maintain that type of community, but individuality. Like, as far as we're concerned, we need to be protective over us. If certain things will hinder us, we need to take a second thought of if we're going to actually, quote unquote, pull the trigger or not. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Right. Thank you for that. And this is episode 80 of the Ish We Talk. So we will see you guys for episode 81. Bye.
Exactly.